I just want to ask you about your ability to see another person. And I know you shared that it started in pain
Yes.
in your household, learning how to just read your dad and really see what he's feeling, what he's thinking, what he's going through. And you now have one of the fastest growing podcasts in the world,
Yeah.
the biggest shows out there. You have a television show called Change with Ed Mylett. And the first time I saw that show, I binge watched the whole entire series, every episode, because I hadn't seen you in that format before.
Wow, you're one of the 3 people who watched it. That's cool.
And I will never forget, the thing I will never forget is you had so many different types of people in the chair.
Yes.
So many different life stories, so many people with varying levels of resentment and anger and setbacks and circumstances. And I watched them literally just disarm in your presence. I watched them just like relax at ease and get in this flow with you. And I remember asking you, what is it about your communication style, about what is happening on the set there? Because you almost never see this, even with the greatest interviewers or coaches or in the world. You almost never see this. And I'm watching this before my eyes, person after person after person. And a lot of these people, they don't even know who you are. Like they're just someone with a really hard life challenge.
Yep.
And you're helping them resolve it. And I remember asking you, what is it? And you said that you can see God
Yes.
in that person,
That's correct.
every single person.
Yeah.
And that shifted me.
Yeah. I remember when we talked about that.
Will you share this, just because it's profound when we can approach this in our life?
Well, I'm looking for God in you all the time. So when my dad was drinking in the worst version of himself, I would look in my dad and see the good. I knew he loved me. I knew my dad had a good heart. And somehow in that time, God sowed into me to look for him in the midst of all of that stress and anger. I don't know if it was whispered to me as a little boy or not, but I remember having this strong sense, we'll call it the Holy Spirit or whatever you want to call it, but of like, when I was hurting around my dad, God would tell me, look for me in him. Look for me in him. And I would. And it would give me comfort and peace while he was so angry. It didn't scare me like it did before. And I developed that habit with everyone so that when I meet people, what I'm actually looking for is what's their giftedness? What's their giftedness? Because within all of us, we were all born with 2 or 3, 4 very unique gifts that were sown into just us. And we discount them because they're so natural to us. This isn't special. See, people think, oh, a gift is I look like Beyonce, or I sing like Beyonce, or I'm strong like The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. Those are gifts because they're very visible gifts. But most human beings' gifts are subtle and quiet and beautiful. It's their nurturing ability. It's their kindness. It's their intention. It's their humor. It's their intellect. It's their problem-solving ability, right? It's their resiliency. It's their toughness. It's their faith. It's their strength. It could be their ability to write or communicate or see or make other people look beautiful. It could be all kinds of different things. But because they're natural to us, we discount them. So when I meet a human being, and by the way, those were sent from God. So when I meet a human being, I'm fascinated. They're like a gift I want to open up, right? They're like a gift. Even people that are adversarial to me, I kind of want to open them up. And then what's their thing? And what I have found that when you can point out to a human being, this is your gift, they intuitively know it's true about them. And now you have linked yourself and yoked them with them in a way maybe no human being has, maybe a few. So if I can see that God in you and I point it out to you and you go, yeah, I do love people, or I do help other people feel better about themselves, or I am funny, right? Or I do care. then all of a sudden we have a connection and you are sown into a strength you didn't have before. And now once we've made that connection, you trust me and you feel strong about you to make a change and a shift because I've spoken truth to you, like we talked about before. And it's sort of become like this habit of mine. If you're my Uber driver, by the time we're done, I will have opened you up and I will have identified the 2 or 3 gifts in you. Now, it is a muscle I built where I'm pretty good at finding it faster than I used to be, because it's almost like this radar I have to find in somebody. And it is, I said earlier, I only really have 2 gifts: my ability to connect with people, which is what we're describing right now, much deeper, and maybe my ability to express to them what they could do with that gift, which is the ability to communicate. And so if you see me on stage in front of 40,000 people, or you're my Uber driver, kind of the same thing's happening. And what's trying to happen there is I'm trying to find the presence of God in you and your giftedness, and then communicate to you how you can best express it for the good of other people. And so that's sort of what happened on my show. More than 3 people watched it. I'm kidding. But it's something that like I love to do and experience because I feel connected to God when I'm with his children. And so it's easy to see in the world today our differences. Man, that's everywhere, right? And there are differences. We do believe different things. We do come from different places. There are different personality types. But we're all connected as brothers and sisters too. I catch a lot of flack. My wife's always telling me, you call everybody brother, everyone's sister. And I'm like, I do, because they are. And it's a reminder to me and them that we're connected, that we're all brothers and sisters in God's kingdom. Whatever you believe about God or the universe or whatever that is, that's your business, not mine. But for me, I know I'm connected to you. We are not separate. We are connected. And the great lie in our culture today, Jamie, is that we're separate. And everything's trying to separate us. So if I can just be a little bit of light in the world, I'm like, no, we're connected. Yeah. And I see God in you. And by the way, when I point it out to you, you know it's true already. And now you see God in you. Yeah. And now you have the power to change.
Even if they don't know that's what it is.
That's right.
Even if they don't have any similar beliefs.
Don't have to have the same beliefs.
Don't have to have it. You see it in them.
Yeah, most people don't have the same beliefs. And by the way, how sad is it in our culture that we have to believe the same thing in order to feel connected? I got way past that. Way past that stuff. I don't have to believe. Yeah, I don't have to believe what you believe to be connected to you. In fact, you're interesting to me when you believe things I don't believe, because now if everyone believed everything I believed, it'd be a pretty boring conversation, right?
You want to know the most beautiful part about when I was witnessing this, and I was witnessing just you. And you're solving real problems in people's lives. I mean, you have people on your couch dealing with all kinds of stuff on this talk show.
Yes.
From the worst of situations to just challenging setbacks to wild life circumstances. It's just no guest was the same. Right. I'm watching them come in again with varying levels of resentment or a chip on their shoulder or, whatever it might be, or hope, all the emotions. I'm watching you see God in them. Yeah. And in that moment, and this is what I think is so beautiful about this, it is impossible to see God in them and judge them.
Amen.
At the same time.
Oh, I love you.
Right?
That's exactly right.
Right?
But,
and I'm watching them all of a sudden not feel judged by you, so now they feel safe.
You got it.
Right?
Yes. And by the way, I want to express this so profoundly. I love that you just, it's my favorite topic ever on any show I've ever done. And no one's ever talked to me about this before. All of you have this ability.
Yes.
It just needed to be pointed out to you. This is not unique to me at all. I'm just looking for it. If you start looking for it in people, and by the way, the judgment part is so huge, giving people grace, even when maybe they don't seem like they deserve it at the time. I'll tell you an interesting story about exactly what you just said. About 3 weeks ago, the kids were home for Christmas. We went out to dinner, pretty nice restaurant. Not great, but pretty good place. Kind of a place where there's I don't know how to explain it, but you probably aren't screaming and yelling in this place, right? Right. One of those type places. And when we walk in, we're in the lobby and I can hear these kids screaming. Like crazy screaming. And I'm like, that's going to be noisy. And of course, who do we sit next to? Right next to the screaming table. There's 5 kids at this table. There's 2 parents. And I mean, these kids are going at it. They're going at it. I mean, running around the table, throwing food almost, screaming and carrying on. And the mom kind of has her head down the whole time. The dad's not doing a lot. And my normal tendency as a human would be, and to judge them, right? And by the way, I know that's my normal tendency. I know that's our culture. I know I can go there. I'm completely capable and have gone there before in my life. And I literally did what you just said. I literally said, I'm going to give them some grace. I'm not going to judge them. I have no idea why in that moment I chose that, but it was like whispered to me to do it. In fact, and you know me pretty well, I said, Max, I want to say a prayer for that family real quick. My son's like, Dad. I said, and you're saying it. So I said, bow your heads. And we just said a quick prayer for the family. And of course, Bella goes, well, Dad, we should do that thing we used to do where we buy them dinner, but they don't know it too. Even me, I'm like, you're pushing it, you know? And I said, okay. So anyway, we ended up, we used to do this thing as a family where we would buy people dinner anonymously. I know you've done that too. Anyway, 3/4 way through the dinner ends, and we got their check. They didn't know where it came from, and they left. And it was pretty noisy the whole time. We leave about an hour later, and 2 days later, I'm hitting golf balls at the golf course warming up. And the man who was our server, who I got to know very well that night because I opened him up and told him what his giftedness was. And so he was kind of connected to me. And he goes, Mr. Mylett, that was like one of the best experiences I've ever had the other night. And thank you for being so kind. I felt so good about myself when I left. And I go, well, Derek, I meant it, brother. I mean, that is your giftedness, your humor, man, and the way you can remember things. Man, you could use that to change the world, right? And you're doing it in the restaurant. And he goes, and you're just so good to that family who was coming back from the funeral. I said, what did you say? He goes, oh, the family at the table that night that you got the meal for, they had come back from their grandma's funeral. I went, you're kidding me. And he goes, yeah, and they used to come in here with the grandmother. She was amazing. And the wife, it was her mom. She was inconsolable that night. She couldn't even lift her head up at the meal. And it makes me emotional. And the grandkids, they're so close to her. Because when their dad was deployed in Iraq, she was at home raising them when the mom had the job. So they were very, very close. And they had come in that night right after the funeral to celebrate their grandmother. I was like, whoa, man. You never know what someone's going through. You never know what they're carrying. You don't know their burden. Give them grace. You don't know. Usually hurt people hurt people. People in pain create pain. Thank God that night, I'm not capable of this wisdom. God gave me the wisdom that night to give them grace and to say a prayer for them. And I'm so grateful that I didn't go to what your tendency would be, which is to judge, because to think that those precious babies that lost their grandma and buried her that day, and that mom who couldn't lift her head up, that was her mother. And the husband, he fought for our country over in Iraq, and when he was deployed, that grandmother helped raise his precious children. Just amazing 48 hours in my life. And so that lesson played out, really, really profoundly then.
Whew.
Well, we're going there today, aren't we?
This
Jeez.
is so good.
This is really good.
Whether it's linking it to your good intentions.
Yes.
Your good intentions.
That's right.
Woo!
And we keep things so far away, but that's a great lie. The truth is, you're one decision away from changing. You're one new relationship. You're one podcast.
I feel like we are unlearning the lies
Yes.
today. Like knocking them down.
Oh, whoa.